it be also come to pass as well. Now, let's look at matters to do with football. And we're looking at the wrangles at the FKF, the latest set of wrangles at FKF. And after sweeping into office barely a year ago on the platform of a change and new order, leadership wrangle has reared its ugly head at the Hussein Mohammed-led Football Kenya Federation, with under fire Chief Executive Officer, that is Harold Ndege, heading back to court to block a looming removal. Now, this follows a show cause letter issued to Ndege by the Federation boss Hussein, listing 21 allegations against him. However, Ndege got a reprieve after Lady Justice Agnes Nzei issued a conservatory order restraining the FKF president from the NEC from discussing any motion linked to his possible ouster ahead of a National Executive Committee meeting that is set for this Wednesday. Zeta Jimoi has that report.
1, 2, 3.
Same script, different cast. Wrangles that many thought were a thing of the past, with the coming on board of a new federation leadership, are once again rocking the Football Kenya Federation, just a year after a widely praised election, which ended the tumultuous reign of Nick Mwendwa and ushered in a new era, one that had preached hope to the restless football public under Hussein Mohammed. At the center of the storm, it's a shockers letter dated December 31st, 2025, in which Hussein Mohammed outlined 21 allegations against his chief executive, Ndege. Hussein went ahead to convene a NEC meeting set for next Thursday amid growing speculation that the forum will seek to remove from office Ndege following the numerous allegations leveled against him, such as failure to inform President of Parliamentary summons, poor planning in the under-17 technical bench appointments, under-15 team mismanagement, logistics and branding failures. Equally, Hussein accuses Ndege of chronic absenteeism and unauthorized work practices, breaking down in communication with FKF president, failure to curb hooliganism in leagues and matches, unauthorized official travel, misuse of federation assets, lack of leadership in Chan local organization committee, among others. But Ndege has not taken the accusation lying down, moving swiftly to court where Lady Justice Agnes Nzei issued a conservatory order restraining the respondent, its president, NEC committees, agents or servants from deliberating on, acting upon or implementing the notice of show cause dated 31st December 2025 and or the agenda item schedules for the 15th of January 2026 pending hearing and determination of the application. Justice Nzei further directed that the matter be mentioned on the 27th of January 2026 for further directions. With the court order now in force, questions remains over whether the NEC meetings will proceed to discuss the CEO's conduct as planned or sidestep as the contentious agenda altogether. The renewed wrangles come at a delicate time for the Kenyan football, as the country, alongside Uganda and Tanzania, recently hosted a successful Chan tournament.
Dr. William Ruto, President of Kenya, Gianni Infantino, the FIFA president,
and continues preparations ahead of the AFCON 2027 finals. Zita Jimoi for Sporty Monday, Nairobi.
Thank you very much, Zita, for that report. Now I start with you, Shitera. You've been so quiet throughout so far. So, start from you. From a governance perspective, where exactly does the balance of power lie at FKF between the president and the CEO and the NEC? And does the crisis really expose these structural kind of weaknesses in that kind of arrangement?
Yeah, the crisis does. But again, you see, this was, it's somehow different monkeys in the same forest, because the same problems we've been having them under the Nick Mwendwa leadership.
Yeah.
We saw Barry resign when the confusion and disagreements between him and the president arose. And the same issues are coming up. And I dare say again that we all face these problems because of money, unfortunately. We've seen our boys do very well in the just concluded CHAN tournament that we hosted alongside Uganda and Tanzania. And we celebrated. The stadium was full to the rafters to a point that some people were denied entry. The federation setting up fan zones outside, and they were full. So if the fans and football lovers are showing you the direction, why are you losing direction? Because we accused the former regime of leading us not the very, very best direction. But again, we are seeing it coming up. Is it the problem at FKF? Is it the problem with the individuals? But it seems it's a systems problem. And as you rightly put it, there is that now power struggle between the president and the CEO. We've seen it before. We are seeing it now. Unfortunately, we thought that probably the differences will arise between the president and the vice president as it has been seen before. You remember when Sam Nyamoya was elected with Sam Tioi Shalei. It did not last. Sholei was ousted.
Yes.
So we thought that the problem is between the president and the vice president. Nick Mwendo worked very well with the vice president, Doris Petra. We never saw any of those issues arising. But again, his CEO was fired.
Robert
Mudhomi, right? And then Barry took over. But again, that relationship has been not so good. And the reason why the relationship between the president and the CEO is not so good, it's because of money. Because even the allegations that have come up is mismanagement of activities at the FKF. But now, what does the law says on the removal of such an official? Probably that's why the NEC was called up. Why have we not had such meetings to discuss the proceedings at FKF? But again, my request to Hussein and the team at FKF is that Kenyans voted you in because they believed that you will bring change. Kenyans voted you in because they believed that we have had a leadership that is not guiding us to the direction we've always wanted. And we had hopes in Hussein. So probably let him put his foot forward and put his foot down and ensure that we have the best. We are hosting AFCON next year, for heaven's sake, to start seeing such wrangles in an institution, basically
just 1 year.
1 year into leadership. Will they last the full term? That's another big question that will really throw to Hussein Mohammed, and the fear of being sanctioned by FIFA. This is the fear that everyone has when we are looking at hosting such a big tournament next year. And FIFA wrote, when there were wrangles in the last leadership, FIFA wrote and said that football matters should not be adjudicated in courts. It's very clear. They wrote it in their letter. So we are back in the courts. We thought that we had cleared all this, probably because Harold Ndege wants to protect himself, probably from the accusation. It is his legal and constitutional right to protect himself. But again, I keep on saying that the federation, you are holding those positions in trust for Kenyans. This federation, whatever it is propagating, is for the people of Kenya. Because look at the many young players who are playing at the tournaments. We had tournaments over Christmas period. So much talent. School games, so much talent. Where are these young boys and girls heading to if the leadership is confused, if the leadership is having wrangles among themselves? So it's a call to Hussein Mohammed, the CEO, and the entire FKF to put their house in order. We have so much activities. We were beaten the other day by Senegal. How many goals? Those are important issues to address rather than start squabbling over issues of money.
Yeah.
Let me just ask. I'm sorry. I just want to ask a question. Maybe I'm being biased or something. The CHAN tournament was organized mostly by the government. Let's talk about the AFCON coming up. Of course, the government.
No, it was organized by, there is a committee, local organizing committee. Yeah.
But again,
and football matters are organized by federations.
As much as federation was there, I'm still waiting to see a tangible thing that the federation has done for the past. Of course, it's 1 year, but something that people will talk about that, in federation year, ABC did this and this. Of course, the only thing that I've seen is about the money, of course, the winning prize, the prize money for the Premier League were being raised up to 15 million. But apart from that, from on my side, I have not seen something that I can talk about the federation has done. If I want to talk about maybe the last region, I'll talk about the women's football, of course, the growth of women football. I'll talk about other small things, of course, the county officials, of course, doing something at the grassroots, and there was a structure for the team.
But the girls have qualified for AFCON.
That I'm now still trying to see what I can talk about the federation has done this. The only thing I will talk about maybe under 15 ilienda haikufika sijui na basi or something. So I want them to stop all these wrangles and start talking about how to develop the football of Kenya to the next level.
To you, Isia, Shitera has mentioned something very important about the relationship between the judicial system and, of course, what FIFA statutes talk about. And is it, maybe I can take you back a little bit. Is the FKF constitution very clear on how to maybe handle such a disciplinary case, especially with the person of the stature of the CEO? Are we seeing that there are gray areas being exploited here? What does the FKF constitution say about how you handle such a disciplinary case? So
I think that's where people like Munyendo will tell you the law is clear. I'm not a lawyer, but at least this one I know, it's so clear. You see, for starters, the position of Secretary General in the Federation is an appointive post. You understand? Unlike, for example, Hussein Mohammed and McDonald Mariga, who went to the ballot, unlike the NEC members, the other members, for example, Shikanda of Nairobi, Njagi of Eastern, you know, the CEO or the Secretary General is appointed. Now, if you are appointed to a post, then it means that the appointing authority has a lot of say as to how long you may last there as an employee. You understand? Mm-hmm. And because those appointments, the key appointments in the Federation, have to be, of course, debated, have to be agreed upon by the members of the NEC. That's why it is clear. I think there's no gap as to how it should be conducted. If the NEC members decide that this person is not fit for the job, then it's done. Nonetheless, the elephant in the room in this matter is the question of the motivation. The motivation. What motivates this action? You understand? Because you know, when you are the appointing authority and you can hire and fire at any time, then people are going to discuss the merits of doing so. So this is where the discussion comes in. I have read through the accusations leveled against Ndege. And may I say, as Jacob, that I've had issues with Ndege because before even this matter came up, I have talked to stakeholders in the game who have said that due to his failure in one place or the other, they have suffered something. I talked to a CEO of a club somewhere who said simply because an email was not handled well between CAF and FKF, they suffered. Now, I do not have facts for that, but a CEO of a club said that. You understand? So it means that some of those gaps could be there as they have been raised by the Federation. But I dare say this, after reading through the accusations, may the same standard be applied across the board for all the employees of the Football Kenya Federation.
Sure.
I have read, for example, a question of a person using FKF money or feeling for, a trip somewhere, that is private and all that. Demands of, just failing to do paperwork and all that. I say that what is good for the goose is not good for the gander. And I want to believe that the same is going to be applied because it's a question of performance. And now, we are not going to put a marking scheme for Hussein as to how his CEO performs. But we are going to put a marking scheme as to how the paper for the CEO, the paper for this NEC member, the paper for this committee is marked. That is what is important. Now, to the question of what this one shows, what Sichera was talking about. Ndege was appointed about a year ago. When
11 months.
11 months, so
It was on February 14th somewhere.
On Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
Day of love.
Yeah.
The day of love.
February 14th,
It's 11 months,
2025.
11 months. And
Yes.
so that occurrence of the day of love is now turning to be some years of bitterness. So the question is this: for how long can you hold if these things are happening at this time? Because if you have a CEO who cannot last 1 year, it means two things. It's either you did not have the true picture of the person the year, or either this person speaks his own mind and challenges you because of independence of mind. Now, I think Hussein Hussein Mohammed has read Machiavelli, and the way he operates, the way I see him, is now becoming the strongman of the federation. Strongman, the one that you can see. And sometimes when things are that way, you may not operate very well with people who appear to be challenging your ideas or something like that. So I hope that this is not going to be seen after Ndege to another person, because that one could render the hope that Kenyans had in Hussein's regime, to go other way. Finally, let me just finish by saying this. There's a NEC member for Rift called Kale.
No, Nyanza.
Nyanza, sorry. Yeah, thank you for that correction. For Nyanza, Kale. and something is also happening there. Kale is not, the last time I checked, he's not very comfortable, and he has been sidelined, so to say. I remember there's a time there was something happening at his backyard and even could not have been invited to the same. Now, this one is a CEO. This one is a NEC member. And of course, there's a time we had something also about the deputy president, the vice president Mariga. My prayer would be this: the captain of this ship, as we speak today, is Hussein Mohammed. Kenya is behind him because of one reason, that if you succeed, Kenya succeeds. If you fail, Kenya fails. And one major pillar of succeeding as a leader is being able to put people together. Nonetheless, if those people appear to be the major obstacles to your success, then justifiably, you can inject them.
Yes. And maybe let me get your last comments, maybe from, let me put it like a legal perspective. And maybe could this court action really expose FKF to potential FIFA sanctions, if deemed maybe third-party interference or so?
Thank you. Now, let me just clarify. You asked the position of the FKF constitution on whether matters can be taken into FIFA and FKF and all the other football bodies. The particular wording is ordinary courts.
Ordinary courts.
Ordinary courts. That recourse cannot be sought in ordinary courts. And this breeds a conflict of law, because at one hand, before you register to become operational in a country, you have to conform to their laws. And the governing law in Kenya for a sporting body to register and to be recognized, where the government plays a regulatory role, is the Sports Act. And now the Sports Act itself established a particular body where disputes on matter sports can be litigated or can be handled. Now the question here, there are two questions which arise. Is this a sporting issue? or is it a constitutional issue? You know, there was a decision by Justice Pauline Nyamweya, as she was then, before she was promoted to become a Court of Appeal judge. She ruled that the FIFA statutes have not been ratified in accordance to Section 2, Article 2 of the Constitution of Kenya. And therefore, the provision that FIFA statutes, the provision that matters football cannot be litigated in ordinary courts was therefore repugnant to the Constitution of Kenya. That is a grey area. Now, the issue which is here is not a football issue per se. It is more of a constitutional issue. And it has been taken to an employment and labor relations court. It's more of a constitutional issue. And when I said when I spoke about the conflict of law, there'll be some conflict on the as to whether the FIFA statutes are enforceable at this juncture or not, and whether whatever ndege the besieged ndege is raising is a constitutional issue or is a governance issue stemming from part of what he feels is aggrieved. Yeah, so I'm very excited. I think the judges who are going to handle this and the parties who are here, I hope they submit very well so that we see the jurisprudence that will emerge from this dispute.
You know, that's a CEO and you are a CEO.
A CEO talking.
In football.
But all in all, we are talking, saying...
If I ask Wakili a question,
yes,
would they proceed with the neck and eject him? Will it
on
still...
Thursday.
Because they can still argue and say, they can still argue and say that he has been in charge of football matters. Yes, it's constitutional, but he's handling football issues. So in our own statute, guided by FIFA, we have convened a proper meeting to eject him. Will it still stand?
In quick response,
just a few seconds.
I've been in several discussions, or I've dropped several discussions where the last regime has been condemned on all bad things in football. But one of the greatest things they did, they always complied to any court order, including even a chief magistrate's court. Like there was one in Kisii there. Is it Keroka? No, not Keroka.
Yeah, there were many others coming from Kirinyaga.
Yes. So my sincere hope is that this regime will not be in contempt of any court order. Whether it is in consonance with the FIFA statutes or not, they will comply to the court order.
We are talking all this because all of us, we love the game. And as Sporty Monday, as Zita, the ball now, it's in the hands of Hussein Mohammed because he is the head, he is the driver of this ship. And everyone, let us, from Chan, let us continue with the momentum. As if you see the correct thing you're supposed to do for the ship to go, to continue going, for the beautiful or for the sake of the game, to it. Because that is what we want to see. The beautiful game being played.
Indeed, want to transition smoothly as we see what will happen.